HCTV Sports is supported by the Spool House. From prom to weddings, let us suit your formal wear needs.
Making the play. He gets the pin. Raiders are clawing their way back in this game.
Just snipes one.
It's over! It's over! Save! Oh my God! Did you see that? Great diving play. He's hit a touchdown! Hastings Raiders win the ball game!
And good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Hastings High School Fieldhouse for the season opener of the 25-26 Hastings Raiders boys basketball season on Hastings Community Television. Alongside the mailman, Owen Ely, I am the voice of the Raiders, longtime radio and TV voice, and proud Hastings alumnus Nick Tuckner here as we gear up for what's going to be kind of a fun one, because as I flash back to fall and I think back to the opening games of the 2025 football season, we had a familiar foe right here in our backyard, and guess what? The new Prague Trojans are here to open the basketball season. I bring the mailman into it, buddy. It's great to be back with you first and foremost. Second of all, just kind of fun to have this little rivalry. Couple of different sports where we're playing the Trojans, and I think a little bit of that, I don't want to say animosity, but maybe some of the rivalry will carry on from football into basketball tonight.
Unquestionably. I mean, familiarity can breed contempt, it can breed rivalry. So, although this is not a typical matchup we're used to in this new era of high school sports where you're getting these conferences and sections that maybe don't align historically, you're certainly going to see New Prague tonight, and you're going to see them a lot in the future. So, this could be a budding rivalry here. It's the first game of the season. We know this New Prague team, they only won 3 games last year. They didn't have a ton of success, but each new season brings with it hope that it'll be different than the year prior.
You bring up a great point. The Trojans have struggled. The last 7 years have all been below 500. The last time they put together a winning season was actually back in 18-19 before the COVID pandemic, when the Trojans went 17-11. Since then, they've gone 5-21, 5-14, 4-23, 7-20, 5-22, and 3-24. Now, conversely, your Raiders on the other side of the coin, coming off a terrific season and maybe one of their best in past memory. Of course, 20-8 1 year ago, lost that heartbreaker on the road to Egan, 70-69. Raiders want to get right back to that point. I know we graduated some guys, Doug, but as Coach Chad Feichman now has been here for so long, we see him talking to the boys right now. You got to think that the Raiders are going to be in the top half of this section again this year.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fun season, and it's not just fun because it's starting right now, right here, but this is a team that has graduated some players, but there's still plenty of familiar players as well. So it'll be an interesting team, and I'm sure Dan Paterka and the Trojans are thinking the same thing. They graduated their top 2 players from last year, so it's a good mix of new and old. You're kind of uncertain about how things are going to go, but this is where the weeks of preparation go leading into this. We don't know how that went, but we're sure going to find out here.
Well, the classic now, tunes of Dr. Dre pulling us into this game as we tip it off and the Raiders win it. Raiders wearing their new uniforms. Now, this is just a shade lighter blue as we get a foul off the ball here. That's going to go to Bond. So Bond with his first foul. First team foul as well, but the Raiders kind of a little lighter shade of blue, gold numbers, white, kind of maybe a little bit of trim around the outside as a pass tipped inside. Raiders up and under, no good. Rebound Trojans right to left on your TV screen as they bring it back up and send it off into the corner near side. Off the hands of Gillespie. That'll go on a plane back over to the Trojans. But I like the new digs a little bit. I mean, they kind of remind me of the Beavers, right? The guys in Teen Wolf. They got that blue and gold. If you had the little Adidas emblem on there, I think they would match with those old school Teen Wolf Michael J. Fox jerseys. But cool retro unis, I think.
Yeah, they got the patterns on the side. It's really given Southern California basketball. Kind of reminds me of UCLA.
Yeah, right. It has, like I said, just a little like lighter shade of blue. Jump ball here as we'll have another inbound pass. This time it will be New Prague and Carter Den Hartog. That name rings familiar with football fans. Quarterback this fall. You can watch that game as well on our YouTube site if you'd like to check that out from back in the fall. I'd advise doing that after the game as this one's tipped away. Or if you got a Friday off tomorrow, grab some coffee, watch that one. That was a lot of fun. Owen and I were both there for that awesome game that set the town crazy to start the year. As this one on a putback, no good, but a foul in the play. The Raiders will be issued their first foul of the game. And this will go to the Raiders' Matt Foss. That's his first, team's first.
Yeah, there's been a lot of action with the refs here early on. If I'm not mistaken, is that not the voice of Augsburg down there?
That's Dick Craig down there right now. Are you saying? Yeah, Dick's doing the PA tonight. Is Steve Linsmeyer here? Oh, cool. Oh, yeah. We're going to get a foul here on 20. There he is. Ref in tonight's game. This is going to go to who? Now, did they give a foul there? I thought they gave a foul to 20. But instead, maybe they said it went off at 20. Not sure. Either way, it's still New Prague basketball. Pass inside, knocked away. Raiders will take it right back up left to right. Hastings drives right. Lundstrom, no good. Back outside. Raiders reset. Pass into the corner. Again, Lundstrom with it. Carter Lundstrom, also tight end wide receiver on the football team. Great pitcher this spring on the baseball team as well. Passing down low, looking for Liam Bernatz. Familiar last name to Raider basketball faithful. This one out of play will go back to the Trojans. Only 1-0, and no, this is not Raider hockey on HCTV. It's basketball. Each team trying to figure out their bearings, although New Prague does have a game. They're 0-1. They lost that game to Mayo Tuesday, I should say Owatonna Tuesday, 72-48, and then had their game against Mayo actually postponed in that yucky weather after Thanksgiving turnover. Raiders will take it back. They turn it over. What's good for the Goose is good for the Gander here as we send a pass out right side, working the perimeter, the white and black along with that, a little bit of that kind of dark cardinal red the Trojans have. Shot from the baseline from about 5 feet, no good, but we're going to have a jump ball here.
You know what's funny? You talk about this isn't Raiders hockey. The game we did on Tuesday, there were more goals at this point in the game than this basketball game. They got the girls hockey. They went down 2-0 in the first minute or 2 minutes, came back, and that was such an exciting game. But yeah, it's making this look quite slow paced here.
You guys were entertaining, that's for darn sure. 15:50 to go here in the first half of play. Raiders down 1-0 in basketball. Off the window, no good. Raiders down low with Brady Hendrickson. That's no good. Hendrickson last year averaged right about 8 points a game. And here's a shot for three. It's good. 3 for Miles Teets. And it's 4-0. Trojans with the lead. Shot for 3. Lundstrom on the other end. That will not go. 4-0, Trojans early on. New Prague sends it in. It's ripped away by Hastings. Steal there for Matt Foss. Terrific football season this past year. Comes up with his left hand, lays it up and in. And that's what Matthew Foss is going to bring you some toughness in down low, not afraid to finish those plays, and he gets the first bucket of the season for Hastings.
Certainly an important piece for the Raiders, and you figure he's going to be even more important this year as a senior with some of those top guys who left last year.
New Prague did lose 2 of their top scorers. Shot here is no good for 3. Rebound Raiders back up the floor, down 2. 4-2 your score early on here. Hastings at home in the opener. Raiders down low. Bernatz had it knocked away. Raiders will keep the ball. Want some substitutions now as Hastings will check Caleb Gadissa in. Another familiar last name to Raider basketball fans. And I think, did Gillespie come in? No, who else came back in there? We'll get the numbers here in just a moment as the Raiders will inbound. Looks like they got 0, and that's Xander McVicker who checks into the basketball game. Sophomore, 6'3" tall. At the top, Hastings Hendrickson hands off Gudissa. Back out to Foss, resets the play up top in the logo, right in the bandana. Pass, far side. Raiders will work with Hendrickson, sizes up his D, steps up to the free throw line, wanted the shot, pulls it back down. Raiders will eclipse the shot clock. Yes, shot clock in high school basketball. This is the first game you're joining us in the last couple of seasons.
You know, when you talk about Gadissa, I'm really excited to see some of those guys who were juniors last year who were sort of role players, like a Landon Miska, who just brings such tremendous height as well.
Here's a shot for three. Front rim, back rim, no good as Hendrickson pulled up. Hendrickson, another one of those guys, like we said, average about 8 points a game. Can he, take that next step now here in his varsity career and get into those double digits? Also with, assists in watching those numbers for Hendrickson. A very good ball distributor, similar to Gadissa. Pass cross court, work from the corner in. Shots up, no good, but a foul likely to Gadissa here. If so, his first. And it will be Gadissa's first fouls. We'll take a peek at this again, and he's got to get the reach in there.
Oh, yeah, there you can see that taking place towards the end of that sequence.
Shot here, no good. As Miles Tietz with the three earlier at the line. Raiders some more wholesale changes here. Ryder Ashcraft will check in. Gillespie will sit down. Second shot is up, and that will go. 1 of 2 at the line for Miles Tietz. He has 4 points. And it's 5-2 New Prague. Trojans with the lead on the road early. Pass inside cross court, and that did not go off anybody but Raiders, so that will be a turnover again, and the Raiders early on here, down on the offensive side of everything, have had a couple of errant passes. Left to sharpen that up here as we go along.
Yeah, you wonder if that's just something that they'll smooth out as the game goes on, seeing it's their home opener. Some of the passing has left a little to desire here in the opening minutes.
Raiders, of course, this season will be without Marlo Strain, who will be acting as student manager, albeit still the captain of this team. Shot from the corner is up, and that's no good. Rebound, batted around, second effort put back up by Tietz, and he's going to go to the line again as another foul for Hastings. And this one will go to Matty Foss, and that's going to be his second one now.
Yeah, they're really sending Tietz to the line here in the opening half.
Tietz to shoot 2 of them. No to the first one.
It's almost a function of just having to improve your defense, because a lot of times when you get those plays where there's just so much movement, it's almost an eventuality that a call is going to happen if you're just shifting back and forth and there's that much commotion in the lane.
2 fairly quick fouls to Foss will bring him out of the game, and that'll also bring Liam Burnatz right back into the contest. We'll get a jump ball here. Possession arrow will favor New Prague here as the Trojans lead. 5 minutes in, 5-2. We're going to get a timeout. So 30-second timeout here as the mailman and I come back here to Hastings High School Fieldhouse. Cast of many on the hand, of course, but guy to my left here and Hunter Pinky doing all sorts of tough work with only 2 hands and 6 jobs. So wonderful job. Spoolhouse, don't forget about them. From prom to weddings, let us suit your formal wear needs. That's the spoolhouse.com right here in Hastings. And you too can get your clothes looking tip-top shape. And I'm not talking just clothes, like we said, alterations, anything with a needle and thread the Spoolhouse can do for you. 13 minutes to go here, first half. Alongside the mailman, Owen Ely, Nick Tuckner here. Dallas Tuckner in the house as well. He's been a good boy here before Santa comes down the chimney, so he got to go to the game today and take him out for a Daddy Bub's dinner date and a little late dinner date after this one. Inbounded here by New Prague, and they're working around the outside near the sparse Raiders student section tonight. Of course, lots of other stuff going on. We got some hockey games and all sorts of other fun. Shot here at the end of the shot clock, a prayer that will not be answered. Raiders rebound, back up the floor they come. Brady Hendrickson will leave it there for Liam Burnatz. Burnatz, little give and go, gets it back. Now shot put up by Hendrickson, no good. Rebound again, New Prague, this time Bond. And he'll bring it up the floor himself. Looked like he traveled, and that's going to be the case.
Well, we'll see if the Raiders can't capitalize on something like that. I think that was a great timeout to take, even though it's early on. something, the defense has worked fairly well at times here. They've moved well together as a unit, particularly on that last possession, but the offense is not humming here.
We have a clock issue. An official timeout has been called. And I don't know what that's for. Dick Craig has not announced that either. So we'll reset. We're all right. Whatever it was, 12-12 to go here. First half from the field house. Tuck and Mailman having fun on a Thursday night, encroaching on the weekend. Layup in. Nice little tilt shot that just kind of floated off the fingertips of Brady Hendrickson, and that goes.
Well, such a spark plug last year. At times, you'd see him late in games, maybe when some of the older guards got tired. And even as a freshman, he was such a refreshing bolt of energy to this Raiders offense.
He's going to give just as much, if not more, this year, and adding that leadership role into the mix. Shot here from the corners, no good off the front rim. Raiders again the rebound, down one, have not led yet this season in this game. Pass into the corner. Raiders drive in from the sideline, ripped away on a pass, looking interior for Burnetts. Trojans back up the floor. Adam Lee with the basketball. He averaged 7 points a game last year. Again, one of those guys for New Prague they'd love to see take that next step here in his senior season. Into the corner, Raiders, man, active hands everywhere. Force a jump ball. Heck of an effort by Caleb Gadissa there. That's all never give up, and you play to the whistle.
And that's where the spacing is so important, because you can sometimes trap a player when you get in there. That's where that movement and the energy has really paid off for Hastings. It allows you to get opportunities just like that.
5-4. Slow-moving game offensively. Teams both had some chances at shots. Both teams have kind of chucked the ball around and out of play. As we said, some early season, just kind of working things out. Hastings more or less more than New Prague, as they already have 36 minutes of basketball in this year. This one thrown away again by the Raiders. And I don't know if they're missing a cut down there or if a play is maybe misconnecting, but that's about the third time we've seen that very same play not show any fruit.
Yeah, I think some of these passes, particularly the one that went into the corner, I think that was just off target, but there had to have been some sort of miscommunication on that one.
Working it at the top here, New Prague. Lee looks right side. King again with it. Sends it inside. Shots up and good. Miles Teets has been the big scorer so far for New Prague in what has been a sparsely contested game scoring-wise so far. A little turnaround jumper from short. We call that a bunny. Those got to go. That one doesn't. 7-4. Trojans with the basketball into the front court. Again, they set their offense.
Teets has more than half of the points scored here between both teams tonight.
He's got some height, some length, and he's got a little bit of an all-around game, as we've known from him hitting that three-pointer early. Teets has it here. Tries to scoot in from the elbow outside again. Lee will reset. Back to Lee outside. Now Gaffke in the game. Back to Lee inside. Finds Meyer. Shot not even taken, and we got a foul here. Couple whistles.
That was a scary fall for Gadissa. I mean, he felt like a cat. I don't think he's any worse for the wear on that one. He kind of got, well, we'll take a look here. He sort of got upended.
Meyer might have got the worst of that.
Yeah, which is weird. I mean, you see.
Oh, yeah, he took it up around the shoulder. He did grab the back of the jersey. I think he was trying to brace himself as he was falling down to the ground. I don't think there was any intent whatsoever from either player. But nonetheless, did they give Gadissa a foul there?
They did give him one.
So he has 2 fouls now. So the Raiders, I hate using the word foul trouble, but really that's kind of what's going on right now. As you take a peek at what the Hastings Raiders did one season ago, not only the Metro East, but really overall, the only other team with over 20 wins was Tartan, and we know how good they were one season ago. And you know, that's just a gauntlet. And we got to play a bunch of these teams throughout the year. Matamidi always good. St. Thomas, even when they have a down season, that's maybe like 500. North St. Paul right around 500. Got some athletes. Two Rivers can just pull something out of a hat any year. We just know that with them now. And South St. Paul, not exactly what they were about 5, 6, 7 years ago, but competitive. They can steal a game. And Hill Murray and Simley, that's two teams I don't want to mess with this year. I'm sorry. That's two groups of young athletes that are very hungry, that learned on the fly last year. And I really think that those two teams, you take a night off against one of those squads, you're losing that basketball game.
Well, and like you said, particularly with that South St. Paul team, you never know which team is the team to take a jump in a given year. That team they had like 6 years ago that made that run so good with Alonzo Dodd.
Gosh, was he good.
And some of those players. I think McKinley, was one of them. They had that transfer from California as well. But you never know. That could be Two Rivers this year. That could be
they had a
South
couple
St. Paul.
transfers, let's be honest.
Wow.
That year. But, you know, I mean, we know how that works. But, yeah, I mean, they were competitive. And, boy, Dodd was one of those competitors in the conference in numerous sports. You just watched him and were proud to be there calling games. Shot for three. It goes. That's Andrew King in the game again. Now, he had 10.6 per game 1 season ago, and one of those top scorers, really the top scorer back. So we don't want to get him heating up here if you're a Raider fan. Now down 10-4, biggest lead of the game, and a turnover again down in the offensive side of things in the paint nonetheless for Hastings.
And you're only down 2 threes. You're only down 2 possessions, but the way this game's moving, it sort of feels like you're moving in molasses. It feels like the lead is a little bigger than it actually should be.
This game's moving similar to how I moved after Thanksgiving dinner a week and change ago, as this will be a foul against Hastings again, and the Raiders now, as we'll see who gets this one. Eesh. Is that Gillespie? Who they gave that to? Still haven't flashed it up there. That'll be on Burnatz. Now that's his first. Shot goes. Jack Kanke in the game, and another guy that, now with Kanke, he didn't play a whole lot last year, but he was on the roster. He got valuable experience, and he's 6'5" tall. You can't teach height. Put him up a year, you grow, you mature, and Kanke here hitting 1 of 2 at the line on that bid at free throws. Raiders down by 7. It's 11-4. Hastings with Caleb Gudissa up top. Leaves it for Lundstrom, who really is the Raiders' height threat this year. His pass inside, Matty Foss puts it down and in. Matthew now with 4. And the Raiders with 6 total. They're down 5. It's 11-6.
Sometimes you might just have to play bully ball, sort of like his older brother did on the basketball court last year, just driving in through the paint.
Would love to see some of those notes come forth on the court here tonight from little brother to big brother. Shot here from the outside, Hendrickson, too hard off the back rim. Great rebound there, though, by Lundstrom, and a foul. Off the ball against New Prague. See if he reaches here. I think he might have got the wrist on the way. That should have been a shooting foul. I don't know if they might have called something along the floor, but 11-6 your score, 8:03 to go, first half. From the field house in Hastings, a season opener for Hastings, while New Prague playing game 2, they're 0-1. Here's Gudissa for 3, back rim, no. Out of bounds, off 2 sets of hands, but it touched a blue and gold pair on the way out. And now New Prague will inbound with Carter Den Hartog, quarterback in the fall.
I'm sort of liking some of these three-point attempts, early in the season for us too. Yeah. I'm liking some of these 3-point attempts for Hastings, but they're just a little off the mark. That Hendrickson one, that Gudissa one, I thought they were high IQ shots. They just missed the mark ever so slightly.
A couple of different guys can shoot that distance shot too. You know, you might see 2 or 3 guys end up with some makes, and there's one of the guys right there that you could definitely see hit a couple threes as Lundstrom misses. And after the play here and after the rebound, a foul will go against the Hastings Raiders, and that time the Raiders will be called. And who is that? Is that Ashcraft? Yep, it's Ashcraft's first, I believe. Well, wait a minute. There's no 45 out there, bro. Should be 15, not 45. There we go. So we got Ashcraft's first foul. Now team 6th.
That's quite the disparity that's starting to emerge here.
Gonna watch that and see if they get any extra shots here in the bonus upcoming. Raiders gotta be disciplined as well. Shot for 3 in the corner, an air ball, and Lundstrom will have the rebound, and then he is fouled after he makes the rebound play, and this will go to Den Hartog. That's his first. And second team foul only here for the Trojans as the Raiders will inbound from in their backcourt. And here comes Hendrickson. Hendrickson leaves it there for Matt Foss, and then Gudissa joins the party. Pass in down low, finds Ashcraft one-on-one. In some trouble, gets it back outside. Finds Gudissa, gets into the paint. He says, I want to go back outside. Raiders reset with Hendrickson. At the top, Ashcraft. Leaves it off, left. Foss thought about the three. Pulls it back down, now sends it up top. Hendrickson hands it off. Foss, Hendrickson, shoots the three. Got it! Big three for the Raiders. Hendrickson hits his first three of the year. He's got 5 points in the game.
I don't think that's how they drew that up. They couldn't find any way to drive in down low, but sometimes it's good just to be a sharpshooter like that.
And just take the shots and they're open. You didn't have a lot of time left on the shot clock. There's some punch down. Lundstrom's been all over the floor tonight.
Yeah, there's a look here at that three-point shot from Hendrickson. And see, they closed the lead here a little bit with Tietz on the bench. That was a good series of plays there for Hastings.
Cross court, shot for three here, Tietz. No good. Rebound, though, offensively for the Trojans. Band it back outside. Ashcraft knocked it off of a New Prague player or not. This will go back to the Trojans. Gillespie checks back in with McVicker. Raiders elect Gudissa and Matty Foss both get a breather.
And Fikema was adamant that people start getting their hands up to start contesting the ball.
We've already seen a guy right there, too. Another great example is that one nipped away there by the Hastings Raiders and McVicker. Quick hands, get a hand on it. You never know. He calls off New Prague, out of play, whatever it might be. That's going to be another official timeout here. I think he did not check in with the table, or did he? I don't think he did, so now he did report. We're okay. Another active hand. That one's, what a great defensive play there by Hendrickson. And again, you just said it. Fike's saying, hey, just get the hands in there. Get them frustrated.
I mean, sometimes it makes you corny. It makes you look like a tryhard sometimes. But if you have your hands up, generally good things are going to happen.
That was not one of them. That is a long shot from about 43 feet. That didn't go. Raiders back up the floor. Hendrickson off the right side from the top. Now plays it inside for Lundstrom, ripped away. Up the floor again. Another turnover for Hastings. Off the fingertips of New Prague, out of play. Hastings will get it right back. Sloppy basketball really on each end here through the first 12 minutes or so of play.
Yeah, they might just have to settle down here and try to get something working here. When you get all hectic and frantic like that, oftentimes, that's not going to lead to success.
There's a three-point shot from McVicker that will miss. Lefty. But that's another guy. I mean, and you know it as well as I do, Mailman, that, there's going to be games this year where one guy might have 22, one guy might have 20, another guy might have 2. Those guys are going to be interchangeable throughout the year. That can make Hastings a dangerous team. Shot here for three is no good, then it hit the pulley. But you know what I'm saying? It's hard for an opposing defense to kind of prepare, knowing that if you do leave one of those other sharpshooters available, that guy might be the one that lights you up and beats you.
Hastings Raiders basketball, I don't quite have the as deep of a bag as you, but as far as I can tell, it's never really been about one player for any given season. It's very team-oriented like that, to your point.
That's why Fike is such a darn good coach. He always works well with what he has. And this, a continuance. Are they going to give it? They're going to say no. 5 on a push. And they're going to say on the floor. So Den Hartog has 2 now. Let's take a peek at this off the rebound here as Hendrickson came up. It didn't look like much, but yeah, it was on the floor if anything. 4:45 to go here. First half, 11-9 your score. Raiders trailing by 2. Still have not led yet in this game. Lundstrom drives in left. He got hacked on the way up. This time he'll go to the line. And the Raiders will get a rare unicorn free throw here, or 2, I should say.
Lundstrom definitely a hustle player for this Raiders team over the years. You certainly can tell.
4:36 to go, and Carter hits his first, and that's his first point of tonight's game.
Now, you seem to know everything.
No, stop that.
I'm sure some of the fans might not know. I don't know, but Xander McVicker, obviously related to Keegan, right? A cousin, a sister?
You see, that's something I don't know. No,
okay.
See, so I'm not going to stand here and say that they are related. Or Taylor McVicker, who's also a former softball player. I know that there's been a couple of McVickers. Not sure. I'm not going to guess.
Seems like a sort of uncommon last name. That's the only reason I asked.
Right.
It's not John Smith or anything.
So if Mama or Papa McVicker, or Grandma or Grandpa McVicker, if you guys know, and you can, you let us know. We'll pass that along. But that is a very good question to ponder. 4:24 to play here in the first half, and it's now tied at 11 apiece after Lundstrom hit both, 2 of 2 at the line, and we're tied up for the first time since it was 0-0. Pass in down low, push, and 1. Yeah, that was the right call. Alex Meyer will hit it, and he'll go to the line too, and try for the 3-point play the old-fashioned way. That's Ashcraft's second. Yep, that was a good call. Shots up and in off that left side.
Not the player you want to send to the line, and that puts the Raiders pretty close to the bonus here.
Oh, boy.
They have 7 fouls, 4 minutes to go here.
There were so many times, though, last year where the Raiders would have their opponent in the bonus early, and they just find ways to be disciplined, smart, not give up too many opportunities. So let's see if Hastings can ride a little bit of that history and play well and keep them off the line on any foul the rest of the way in the half. Here's Gadissa for 3. No. Rebound. That went, they're going to get a foul on that. That actually went off of a New Prague player, but they're going to say kind of wrap the arm around the waist. And that is going to be, is that to McVicker? Yeah, there's no 8. That would have been 0. Yeah, there's no 8, Dick. It's got to be 0. Yeah.
A little tough to tell on these new jerseys.
Yeah, I think that was number 0, not 8. Dick said 8, and he was like, there is no number 8.
Well, if they want to put it on number 8, I suppose that's good news for the Raiders.
That's fine. We don't have. If Ricky Rubio just got a foul, that's he doesn't play for us. I'm trying to think of any. Or is he 9? Is Rubio 9?
Yeah, he was 9.
9. So inbound. Well, they didn't correct the foul. I don't think. Maybe they gave it to Bernatz. No. I don't know. No correction. Raiders back up the floor off a turnover. Nice pass outside. Foss. 3! Splashdown. He got one there. Matty Foss, now 7.
And that's a great defensive play from McVicker, getting his hand on the ball, turning defense into offense.
Tied up again, 14 apiece. Business picking up a little bit at the field house. Here's a shot on the run. No, didn't even catch rim. Matt Foss off the loose ball, we shall say. Gets the pass back, bounces into the paint, but draws some body contact and some shouts from the bench of New Prague. No call, no whistle. Now a kick, and who's going to get it? Raiders will have the basketball with a tie game and a chance to take their first lead in tonight's game. As we take a peek at the last succession, what a great play there by Hastings, just getting the steal to start things. But that pass was just unimaginable.
So perfect, and so many people, I'm sure the Raiders never do this because it's team basketball, but so many people focus on points and rebounds and all that, but it's stuff like that turns into points.
How did he adjust to get that pass back and just have the alertness too? Ashcraft, great offensive board. Raiders are going to continue with it. I like this. This is a lot different than what we saw in the first 7 minutes of basketball. Raiders flying for offensive rebounds, loose balls, and they just continue to get a little bit better. Every couple minutes, you got to shoot it, guys. They're going to shoot a bomb at the buzzer of the shot clock. No good. Raiders get the rebound again, and that's a foul as well. That's all hustle, mailman. My goodness.
Sometimes that's all it takes. Sometimes you're not lucky. Sometimes maybe you're not as good as you play on an individual play, but the hustle wins out right there. And they needed that so bad because they kind of bailed out that offensive sequence where they were kind of doing not much of anything.
That play that we just saw is Hastings basketball. that is Hastings basketball. That's the way it's always been played. I don't care who the coach has been. That's how we play. Nice runner up left side. Matty Foss finishes, and he's got 9, and he's leading all scores, and he's on a little heater here right now.
First lead of the game here for the Raiders.
Let's keep it. New Prague has been game early. Pass right to the top. 3. No. Front rim. Great rebound. Teets. New Prague keeps it wide open. 3. No good. Raiders catch a break on an open shot. Teets another offensive rebound. He's filling stat lines here early on, folks. Right to left. King ripped away. Raider hustle again. And somebody was over and back. And the referee, thank you, sir, helping up Xander far side. That's what it's about. Foul, too? So we're going to take a peek here at the collision and a loose ball. Yeah, kind of got tied up, yeah.
Arguably could have been a kicked ball
That's
earlier.
what I was thinking, too. Early on, I'm like, well, they let it go, so I'm going to skip over it myself. But, yeah, there definitely could have been a whistle as well. 1:40 to go here. First half, Raiders up by 2. Turnaround jumper in the lane, no good. And that's the ones we need to tickle the twine here. I mean, those little shots from, 8 in, we got to have those. That's how Raider basketball wins games. And we haven't hit many of them so far, although they have the lead. 16-14, pass into the far side. Shot for 3 is up and deep, and that's going to be a Hastings basketball because I think someone fouled on the shot attempt. Mr. Linsmeyer will come over and let us know that that foul was against, say, 2? Is that Lee's second? 6th foul now on New Prague, so 7-6 the foul line here so far, and 7 apiece now, I'm sorry, as that foul was actually given to Gaffkey, the 6'3 junior.
Well, how quickly did that disparage? I mean, it was 6-1, I think, at one point in terms of fouls. I mean, they've really cleaned it up, which is indicative of Raiders basketball, and then let the opponents make the mistake.
And then we get a 1-1. Well, we don't hit it, but Raiders had a chance there. I mean, to turn the court and get some points out of it. Still up by 2, approaching a minute to play. Mr. Dick Craig, the best PA and stat man anywhere in the 5-state area, if not further.
I will co-sign on that.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, he is legitimately one of the best human beings, first of all, but then you throw in the stats and all the work he does. My goodness. Turnaround inside, no good off the back rim, floated away. Raiders can't get the rebound. Trying to go inside Teets. Actually, that was Meyer who was fouled there inside. That might be Gillespie, and it is.
If you're the Raiders, you can't let them get that offensive rebound and let it pass 3 different Raiders. Somebody has to get in there and stop the progression of that play.
Gillespie's first team's 8th, so 1-1 here in the bonus for New Prague. Shot here is up, and that's good. He'll get another. Meyer back to the line. Looking to tie it. Shots up, and it's good. And we're tied again as Meyer hits 2 of 2. Under a minute, 43 seconds to play here on HCTV. First half in our season opener of play at the Fieldhouse for boys basketball. This one's put up right side, no good. Punched around down low. Rebound, New Prague. Trojans up the floor, working it from the outside, and a whistle and a foul. That foul is going to unfortunately go to Hendrickson, and nobody on the court from the blue and gold side knows why they're calling him for that, but that will be a foul against Hendrickson. That's his first, but still team's 9th, and we're talking about that bonus here in the final minute.
Well, and to go back to that last offensive possession for Hastings, if you're Gillespie and there's a double team in the low post, you got to pass out and not shoot in that situation, unless you feel like your shot is real sweet at that point.
And very makeable. Shot here is no good. Raiders fight for that board, and Hendrickson threw it off of the New Prague player far side. And
you see the pump fake there?
Yeah, a little bit.
Linsmeyer was faking him out.
I think he was. Raiders will take it nonetheless. Hastings with the basketball. Raiders will work it at the top left now. Now cross court to the top again. Hastings swings it around. Shot for three, front rim, no good. Rebound again. New Prague and a foul. Guys, you didn't need to do that right there. You should have let them go up the floor and make their own shot. Instead, the Raiders give them a freebie again. And just a couple foul attempts that didn't need to do here in the final minute.
I'm sure people are tired of me saying it, but it's so true. It's evergreen. You can't compound mistakes. You can't take a mistake and then create another one right after because of the previous one. You got to just let that go.
Bond's shot will go. That's his first point in tonight's game. Looks like Myers making an early exit to the trainer's room. Hopefully he's okay. Shot here will go. Bond gets them both and gives New Prague the lead, but is it at the half? It is. Rebound New Prague on a missed three by Hastings' Matt Foss. And a very low-scoring, dare I say, pedestrian first half of basketball here at the Fieldhouse. Neither team gets to 20 points in an 18-16 Trojan lead here at halftime, Mailman. Something I think both coaches are going to want to say is, hey, let's pick it up a little bit. Let's try to get a couple in succession. I don't think either team has really gone on an extensive run here. Maybe Hastings in the game back a little bit, but someone's got to start some offensive flow, and either team has an opportunity to take it here at half.
No, so true. I mean, a lot of good for Hastings, a lot of bad, a lot to fix, a lot to like.
Yep.
You're sort of in between there, but I mean, it felt like we were watching 1920s college football at the beginning, where there was no offense whatsoever. It felt like midway through they discovered Air Coryell. We started scoring points again, and now we're back in the dark age here where points are coming at a premium. So we'll see what the result is when we come back.
Mailman and I will talk more Air Coryell as we take our break here from the Hastings High School Fieldhouse. The Raiders trail it in their season opener 18-16 to New Prague. We'll come back with your second half here in just a little bit. You are watching Raider basketball on Hastings Community Television.
Today, 4 Minnesotans lost their lives from fentanyl poisoning.
And 4 more will tomorrow.
Fentanyl is the #1 killer of 18 to 45-year-olds.
It's killing more and more 12 to 17-year-olds. They're people we care about.
Like my brother.
My sister.
My best friend.
We have the power to make a difference in our community. Join us in the fight against the fentanyl crisis.
He gets the pin. What a move, what a goal! Oh, what a shot, scores! The Raiders, can they get the lift? Yes, they do.
Just snipes one.
Oh my God! And reaching up and making the play. It's moving! It's over!
Looking to throw, and she's going to get the first down.
One! Touchdown Raiders!
The United Heroes League mainly uses sports as a bridge to help military families stay active and engaged in their communities. We have over 40 professional teams that partner with us for free tickets and camps. We provide access to free sporting equipment.
UHL has provided us with a lot of equipment and a lot of gear that is otherwise sometimes hard to attain.
It's really cool. I get all this free stuff, and it's because of my great dad, who is a veteran.
UHL has been a great supporter, not just for our family, but for all the military families.
We're excited to see what the future holds. We can't wait to see where it goes.
Halftime at the Fieldhouse. Nick Tuckner, Owen Ely. We're having fun here as these two teams really kind of sleptwalk through the first half. But again, it's so early in the season, you can't expect too much out of either team. Both teams trying to find their way, whether it be with new players or just trying to make their way to the top of the conference in a sense, kind of like how New Prague is right now. But these two teams, 18-16 at half. What'd you like most about the way the Raiders played in that first half, Mailman?
Well, I like how the first half progressed. There wasn't a lot to like at the beginning, but I think once they started playing, really committing to playing defense, really committed to the fundamentals, really committed to getting their hands everywhere, the hustle was kind of always there, but you saw the hustle kind of pick up even too a little bit. So I'm encouraged by that. Even if the shots aren't falling sometimes, even if you can't find the open lanes, it's kind of those stuffs that helps you kind of tread water.
Would you think, too, that like just there was a consistent, like they were getting better throughout the half? Like there was little things where you're going, okay, that might have happened, but then these two things happened that we didn't see earlier in the game, and things just got better throughout the entire contest. As there's hey, look at that, a couple of Raiders. There's Haley Strain, Lucas Foss in the house. What's up, kiddos? Some faves in blue and gold for O-Dog and myself, kids that we've been able to watch the last 4 years or so, and now they're on to bigger and better things. Raiders with the basketball off a steal, back at the floor, shots up, no, but a travel. Like the hop early on in the half, I have to say that from the Raiders. Down 2.
Like I was saying, the energy's always there.
Foss Leno scores with 9 in the first half. Hendrickson with 5. Lundstrom with 2 for the Raiders, and then Tietz and Meyer each had 6. King with 3. Bain 2, Kanke 1, and now the Raiders might get an offensive foul. No! It's going to be a defensive foul as Matthew Foss will finish, draw the foul, and go to the line for the three-point play as the foul on Carter Den Hartog, his 3rd.
Well, that's that bully ball we were talking about with his brother. And there you can see almost like Kawhi Leonard, like the claw, he just kind of scratches that out of midair and just runs right through. Maybe call could have gone either way maybe, but great sequence there for Hastings.
Matthew Foss, great offensive play there, not only offense, but the defense to set up his own way up the floor on the fast break opportunity. Flawless. Raiders in the lead, 19-18. Turn it over again. Does New Prague? Hastings the chance to get on a little run here.
Well, it's funny you say that. I mean, it's almost like offense doesn't exist in a vacuum. The defense leads into the offense, and you're seeing that here.
Coach Fikema sees a couple of things from the bench. He really wanted to get that pass in. He does this time. Matty Foss finishes again, and he's going to be dangerous at the glass the rest of the game. He's starting to find some seams here.
Floats like a butterfly, stings like a bee right there. That time it was finesse getting it done for Foss.
Follow the play here, says Dick Craig. Let's see who gets it. It's going to go to 2. And that's going to be Liam Burnat's his 2nd. We haven't answered your trivia question. Thank you, Tina Schlotman, but Xander is Keegan's brother. So there we go. You were right on the money. Yes, they are brother-sister. And athleticism definitely files in that family in blue and gold. This shot up no good. Raiders again, another board here. Bring it up the floor. Let's get a couple in a row. Lundstrom down low. Kept it alive. Gillespie, my goodness. Trying to get a pass cross court, and that's just ripped away. Up the floor the other way. Meyer, shot. No. Offensive foul anyway against Meyer is guess who? Matty Foss drawing the foul as we take a peek here. Got those active hands up the floor and that's a definite, talk about bully ball. Just pulled it down. He wanted to bowl him over.
Well, he got the feet set, but the shoulder, he just ran right through him. It was like a truck stick.
That's what it was, too. A little more something we would have seen in September. Not necessarily here in December, although it feels like late January. Here's a little shot on the run. Nice lift up and under. Matty Foss, like I said, on a little bit of a run here. He's got 6 to start the half. He's got 15 now in the game.
Well, this is what you were talking about. Sometimes you just got to ride the hot hand. He's the guy getting it done. You got to figure they're going to feed him some more.
Raiders are giving the Trojans fits on the outsides. I mean, when they get in the corner, they have nowhere to breathe, let alone try to get a pass off or shoot. To the top, Den Hartog drives in. Nice move. Right side shot, no good. Rebound by Carter Lundstrom. Gives it off. Burnatz into the paint. Hits his brakes. Finds Carter. Shot's good! Three-pointer. And then a timeout or a technical. I think it's a technical here as well.
There was definitely some taunting after
there's
the
something.
play. He let him know. I'm sure we'll see it here. You'll see the hand gesture he gave him, but
Lundstrom gets the three, but he will get a technical foul on his. I mean, come on. I mean, I don't know what was said, right? So, I mean, I can't sit here and say that the young man who I know to be a pretty stand-up individual, I don't think anything was malicious, unfortunately, but of course the officials don't know the young men.
I would like to. I agree. I would like to believe there was some reason why it was done. That that it wasn't just done arbitrarily.
Right.
The celebration, the hand gesture is nothing. We don't know what he said.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's a good kid, but I'm sure there must have been some sort of word or something that
You're right in
triggered
front of your
it.
student section. Yeah, you're probably
feeling it.
Yeah, come on. I'm not going to get mad at that. I don't think Fike will either, especially now that they're up 8, make it 7, but still. That goes in, 1 of 2 for King there. Matt Voss with 6 in the second half, and then Lundstrom hit that big 3. Raiders getting more offense in the first couple of minutes of the second half than they had halfway through the first half.
You are not kidding.
I was trying, fans, not to be facetious, and you folks usually, Tuck, you're just being goofy. Well, usually I am, but this was very much the game we played in the first half. Each team, this one for 3, and that's good. Okay, so Andrew King comes up, gets his second 3 of the game. He's got 7 points, and now getting him right back into the game. Call it 4. It's 26-22. Gudissa back up top now off the hands of Gillespie to Foss. And he'll look right down the middle of the court. Gets to the 3-point line. Down near the block, throws it back outside. Driving in Hastings, and that's Brady Hendrickson out to another opening there, and he'll get that to fall. So now Hendrickson was 7, and now that ball nearly knocked away. Was that off a foot maybe or something? The Raiders wanted a call there too. That shot's no good front rim. Raiders tap it around, and look like they might have been fouled there too. Foul will go to Alex Meyer, I believe it is. As we take a look at this, the 3 there, just a nice shot, open 3, and here's a play right here where Raiders driving in with Hendrickson just getting that seam, and when he finds the seam, he's hard to stop. He's got a great first step. This one from 3, this won't go. Nice rebound, Gillespie blocked then on the second chance. Love the hustle though by the blue and gold again. Up the floor right side, shot up, no good. I don't know if that's a shot or a pass. Either way, it's in the hands of Foss, back up the floor, and the Raiders with Gudissa back over to Burnatz, into the corner, and then Hendrickson just deked him out of his goalie pads as the shot will not count, as it will be a travel, but that was a heck of a fake there.
Well, and to your point, I mean, it's almost like we talk about this with football all the time. You know, you run to set up the pass.
Right.
When you start hitting those open threes, you know, because they had so much trouble in the lane getting anything going, but you see Hendrickson, carving it up now. It's like one thing opens up another avenue for you.
When he knows that he has that first step and he can beat those guys, and some of those guys like Den Hartogs, of course, it has quite a bit of speed as well. We saw that on the football field, but when he starts to set those feet and get them in, you beat him on that first step, you're already at the basket. That's going to be paying dividends for Hendrickson the rest of this game. Or Foss. I mean, he's been doing the same thing. Is this one knocked away? Ashcraft got a hand on it, goes out of bounds, let's go back to New Prague, but again, active hands, great hustle, and that's something that Owen and I are going to be saying until we're on the air next, that, hey, man, I mean, that team hustled, and that's all that matters. You put that hustle on the floor every night, you're going to win 20 games again.
It's such a universal for Raiders athletics just in general.
Shot in the corner, no good for 3. Raiders, again, will Rebound, a miss from New Prague, leading by 6 with 13 to play in regulation. Nice move, Foss gets in, draws some contact, shots up good. And again, he knew what he was doing the whole way up there, and he had his way with New Prague on the way in, layup finish.
I don't want to say they were sleeping in the first half. Maybe it was just knocking off the rust, but you can see this is a markedly different team here after the first, 4 or 5 minutes of the game.
Matthew Foss is on a tear right now, offensively and defensively, as we'll take a peek here at just Foss's intensity. Backs his way in, and like Owen and I were saying, he just kind of knew what he was going to do, and he still did it anyway.
He's just playing out there like prime Giannis right now.
Gudissa's third foul off the ball. Pass out for 3, shot no good. New Prague, now the Raiders will take it back up the floor. And Matt Foss. Shot here for 3. Good! Splashdown up top, Hendrickson.
Almost sort of a heat check there for the Raiders.
Ooh.
Cut back on the celebration a little bit there. Maybe he knew. The bar has been set.
Raiders lead by 11, their biggest lead of the game here as we watch this setup. We saw part of the setup, but the finish was definitely fantastic for the blue and gold. Biggest lead of the season, now 11 points, 33-22. Raiders had only 16 in the first half. They've eclipsed that already here. Just a handful of minutes into half number 2. Down low, just beating his way in and putting it up and in is Alex Meyer. And he has really been good tonight too in many facets. But utilizing his body, he just does such a great job with that, especially into the interior. Into the corner, McVicker for 3. That won't go. Rebound Raiders offensively, they'll keep it. Matty Foss again for 3. Big splash.
And not going through the motions. He thought about passing it, realized he had plenty of space, and just chucked that one up.
Shot here will go New Prague and 1. That will go on behalf of Miles Teets, who's been fairly quiet in this half. So trying for the 3-point play. The foul will go against Leary. That's his first. He checked in for Gudissa moments ago. I want to also let you guys know we're manually adding a clock too. Hunter's doing all this stuff by himself, so the clock seems a little goofy. It's because Hunter's doing 17 things at once and doing a darn good job of it. So I just want to filter that along to you guys. Here's a pass up top for 3 again. Hendrickson, no. What hustle by Lundstrom, outside left. Sanders shot, no. Rebound, loose. New Prague will get it, but the Raiders lead by 10 with 10:54 to go here in regulation. Bounce pass right side. Lundstrom again trying to hammer that basketball out, similar to what he'd be doing trying to punch a football out as a defensive back. Outside, in the corner, spinning away Teets. He's fouled.
Yeah, I do want to give a shout out to Hunter, because he's almost like one of those people on the side of the streets who's playing the accordion and dancing, doing the polka and banging the cymbal. He's doing, like you said, 17 things in one.
One-man band, but we got some wonderful camera people doing all sorts of good stuff for us too, and we'll talk about those wonderful humans in just a moment. Shot for 3 here is Lundstrom, in and out, no good, but the Raiders keep it alive with Leary. Back outside now, Matthew Foss goes right near the Hastings student section that we said sparsely populated, partially due to the fact that the Hastings Raiders boys hockey team is spanking Tartan around the city at 2-0 after 1. 10 minutes left, shots up as there is no time left on the shot clock. It'll be an air ball, it'll be a turnover on a shot clock violation. So 10:03 to go here in regulation. Raiders have a 10-point edge at 36-26, and it really has been in control of Blue and Gold Nation this whole second half.
I mean, you just watch these 3-4 minute chunks throughout the game, and it's like you're watching totally different games from period to period.
That is So true. I mean, like we said already, the Raiders doing what they've done offensively. There's a pass hit down low. What a great play. Great finish. Isaiah Gafke will get his first bucket of the game. Raiders will force another opportunity at the three-point play. Foul will go against McVicker. And a potential three-point play, Isaiah Gafke, who hasn't exactly played a whole bunch tonight. Chance to spark his team, who's down 8, make it 7 again. And here comes New Prague again.
And you got to figure the game would be a lot closer. Both teams really missed on a lot of those bonus points towards the end of the half. There was plenty of opportunities, but nobody really capitalized.
That is a huge point to make because in such a slow-moving first half where there's no scoring virtually is a shot, Matty Foss corner. Yes! Another splashdown for Matty Foss. And that one will draw a timeout, and Hastings right back to 10 at 39-29. Watch this, give and go. Matty cool in the corner. And Foss hits. Yeah, you know, I think he's getting a little energy. All the boys are getting a little energy. I know that's not a big student section over there. Those guys are rocking some stuff over there. They're getting the boys going, man. And you got to give them a little bit of props, too, as you look at what New Prague did last year, man. 1-13 in the conference. Like we said, 3-24. That Metro West is tough, okay, man? You got teams like Benil, Norno at the top, perennially 20-win teams, just awesome. But then you got that, again, kind of like the Metro East, that mess of teams that can knock you off any given night. Waconia, Chan, Chaska, all those teams. Big schools from the Southwest. They're awesome. Never know what can happen. St. Louis Park, I'll tell you what, just from being in Minneapolis last year and seeing that team a couple times against some Minneapolis schools, that's not a team to screw around with either. So this is a battle-tested team. Just hard to make some equity in a conference that's so tough, especially to be kind of down in the barrels the last couple of years.
It's very top-heavy, too, and I know they're in the same conference, so the enrollment's roughly the same, but those are some heavy-hitter schools historically. Big money, big enrollment.
Stolen by Foss, puts up a shot on the run. He's going to draw 2 shots, and that's just awesome basketball anyway, to try to get that shot up regardless to get those 2 shots. So Matt Foss will go to the line. Foul is to King. That's his second. Shot from Foss? No. That wanted to go down. It was halfway down. Look at Matthew right there, just kind of scoping it out, kind of tongue-in-cheek as he comes in. I guess maybe that's his Jordan tongue, I guess.
I was going to say, yeah, it looks like he was chewing on a mouthpiece or something there.
That's what I thought it was at first. Oh, my gosh. Jordan Love does that, too? Does he? Oh, goodness. Not that I like that. Team shots put up, and that will go. Den Hartog will find some points here. That's his first bucket tonight. Raiders up by 8 at 39-31. Less than 9 to play. Nice layup. And again, first step, beat them, leave them in your dust. Hendrickson finishes again.
And just so dangerous. Either he's staying still and shooting a 3, or is just a lightning bolt, and you don't know which is which.
All right, now this is where a foul for me, and as a coach, Fike will probably say the same thing. I can deal with that foul. I can deal with hustle. I can deal with, trying to get in there and continue that 10-point lead, the run you're on. Again, I'm not going to ever discredit any sort of hustle, even if it results in a foul.
Some fouls are unavoidable. You hardly ever see a team that has 0 fouls at the end of the day.
Yep.
Things happen. You do have to be careful, though, because that's 8 fouls. You're going to be right on the doorstep of the bonus here, and this is still a live dog here. There's still 9 minutes left, and they're still in this one, even though the lead is sort of ballooned.
Gafke gets the first one. He'll get another one. 41-32, as you can see on your scoreboard at home. New Prague led by 2, 18-16 at half. And Gafke hits again. He's got 5 quietly off the bench. Raiders into the paint, spin around jumper, no good, and just not enough on it from Bernatz. Contested. And now Bernatz there. Hustle keeps it alive for the Raiders on a steal, and now inside, that's an offensive foul. That's the right call. New Prague's fans like it, and I can agree with that one because, again, Larry kind of went in there and Oh, he dropped his shoulder more than anything. Look at that hustle play again.
That's crazy effort right there. That's the most effort of any play we've seen here tonight. I mean, that's like when you're punting the ball at the goal line and you jump over and throw it back. I mean, he was really deflated when that foul was called because, boy, you sure hope when you dive into the bleachers that you're going to get points out of that.
And trust me, this place would have went ballistic had the Raiders found points there. Might have even forced the timeout, etc. But still, I'm going to say it till I'm blue and gold in the face tonight. This team is not let up hustle-wise one iota all this game, even when things weren't going well early. And now they're having a little bit of it pay off. I know we have to finish, but up 41-33. This shot from three is deep for New Prague. Second effort won't go, and Lundstrom will be charged with a foul here off the rebound. That'll put Jack Kahnke to the line.
And again, you got to be careful here because even though they failed to really hit on any of the opportunities that were presented at the end of the first half, I don't think you can just assume that they're not going to hit them down the stretch here.
Right there.
It was an 11-point lead. Could be as low as 6 coming out of this one, so you don't want to bury them before they're dead here.
A lot of basketball left. Raiders led by 11. Shots up here, good. So Jack Kahnke gets both. And it's 41-35, 7:44 to go in regulation here at the Fieldhouse in the season opener. Shot for three is good, and a splashdown again by Brady Hendrickson.
It's sure hard to come back when you're hitting threes at the clip the Raiders have been between Foss and Hendrickson. But that'll help.
Back down the other end. Shot for three, King. He's got 10 tonight. 3 threes. 44-38. So again, up the floor, Raiders get a big one. Send it back the other way. They get one. Now Lundstrom for three, and he's fouled. He's going to shoot 3 of them. All right. That foul will go to Jack Kahnke. Let's take a peek at this again as the Raiders gave up the 3, but then back up the floor, Raiders were able to send it to the corner, and that's where Lundstrom was fouled, and now I get a chance to shoot 3 of them. First one will not go. Raiders up by only 6. I say only because they were up by 11 at one time. So take a peek there. The last 3. Shot here is good. So 1 of 2 so far. Another chance here for Carter. He's got
basically just had a line change there for New Prague.
Something you more or less see on the ice, as we remind you as well, the Raider boys hockey team was up 2-0 on Tartan after 1 from the Hastings Civic Arena. Looking forward to seeing our boys and girls hockey teams play. I know I've watched them here on HCTV a couple times, but haven't seen them up close. This one's thrown away. The Raiders will take this turnover. That's when earlier in the game, Hastings threw away a couple of those. Now it's time the Raiders get a couple of those back, and that might be a big one with the game, at 7 points right now.
Nearly connected with our camera operator down there.
Down low for Foss, and he finishes. Lifts it up and in.
The Raiders desperately needed that. You still have the cushion, but you really want to slam the door in the face of the Trojans here.
Stolen by Hendrickson into the paint. Hops into the paint, throws it outside. Burnett's 3! Splash again. Burnett's first point tonight is 3 of them. 50-38. And Dick Craig's Bartley rule in effect. He always says, Miss Mary Bartley said for years, first team to 50 wins. Shot here is no good from the outside. That was Matt Foss.
This arena certainly would have exploded if he hit that one.
That might have added a little bit of tears into the cereal, if you will, for New Prague. But now a nice move, just bodying in. Couldn't get the shot to go on the leaner. Back outside now. Adam Lee into the corner right side. Back to Isaiah Gaffke. Lee again will retake possession up top. King, Lee, back to King for three. That's short. And then back into the hand. Oh, and a block there, but they're going to call a foul. I think it was a push in the back, not on the block. Let's take a look here at the Raiders setting up that three from Bernatz and just knocking it down from the outside.
They've been so hot from the corner right in front of the bench, and you got to credit the physicality there, too, to not go to a tie-up there, really pull that ball away and get the assist.
Shot here will not go for Miles Teets, who's had his moments in this one, the 6'4" senior. Got him going with an early three. Since then, Raiders have kept him in check fairly well. And he hits one here, making it 50-39. Then Hartong back into the game now. A little bit of that leadership, even though a junior played that, leadership position as a quarterback. He brings some of that moxie onto the court. Pass inside, Foss up, no good, but he's fouled and he's creating opportunities for himself, whether it's scoring or getting to the line. Matt Foss is doing it here in the second half.
Oh, he's doing everything. Gaffke a little less than pleased there as you look at the foul.
That's the only way they can stop him the second half.
He's doing everything. He's scoring from the free throw line. Not right there, but he's scoring from the free throw line. I'll take credit for the jinx right there.
Oh, man.
But he's scoring from the three-point line. He's scoring in the post. I mean, he's doing everything here for the Raiders.
We watch this young man grow through the years, literally and figuratively, as that shot goes for Foss, and he gets one of the two. And he really is putting together a great game for Hastings, who leads it now by a score of 51-39 with 5:27 to go in this basketball game. We'll save for right now, but I think more than anything, if you're a New Prague Trojan fan, you got to get a few in a row here, and you got to make Hastings turn the ball over, something that, plain and simple, they haven't done much of since the first half. And really, I mean the first half of the first half, Raiders really got better even as we got towards halftime. But, man, in this situation right now, Raiders aren't giving you much shots in a row, let alone opportunities, as we take a look at what's going on in the schoolhouse.
Yeah, the Spoolhouse, from prom to weddings, let us suit your formal wear needs. More information can be found at thespoolhouse.com.
Spoolhouse, we thank you for putting these games on the air and helping us do so. If you'd like to be a supporter as well, check out the Hastings Community Television website. Go to Facebook, go to YouTube. You can find all sorts of ways to get in contact with us. You too can give, folks. You can give to HCTV. I know we just had Giving Tuesday, right? It was Giving Tuesday, kind of a big deal where a lot of people have matches and ways to get money to nonprofit organizations. Well, HCTV is one that could use your donations at any time. And again, if you just look us up on the internet and get in contact with Mike, Hunter, any of the crew, they'll put your business on with us throughout this winter and hopefully the spring season as well, which should be pretty exciting.
And speaking of staples of HCTV, I want to shout out Cannon, who's watching the game in Cottage Grove. It's your third birthday tomorrow.
Oh, hey!
A staple of HCTV viewership.
That's for sure. This is going to go off of New Prague set of hands or foot. Now they're going to talk together. We'll see if this ends up being Raider ball, and it is. I think it was it a lane violation? I think it was, actually. It wasn't a foul.
A good break here for the Raiders, nonetheless.
No, that should be a foul right there. Yeah. As Hendrickson spilling down, he was fouled there against King, and now that's his third, team seventh, and that should bring us to the line, right? Yep, here we come. All right, Raiders now in the bonus for the rest of this one, although on the other end, New Prague in the double bonus. Don't want to give them any free looks at the hoop here.
No, the Raiders have rushed out to these massive leads when it comes to the fouls, but as the half goes on, both the first and the second, the Trojans have surely worked their way back in to make it more fair.
Shot here from Hendrickson, no good. 51-39 Hastings. They lead by 12 points on a Thursday night, a chilly Thursday. There's a foul far side, might be on Foss or Bernatz, one of the two fellas far side.
Yeah, you sure would rather be here than outside. Maybe that explains part of the hustle too. They're thinking.
Yeah, they're going to give that to Burnatz. So that'll be his third now, and like we were talking earlier, just not putting him at the line if you can help it. And the shot here is short. Air ball. That didn't even find the rim, and that'll draw a couple of cheers and cheers, especially from the Raider faithful with 5 minutes even to play here. And that's kind of how it's gone throughout the night offensively for New Prague, although they get to 40 here as the second shot from King will go, and now he has 11 as New Prague will take the timeout with 5 minutes even to play in regulation. Here's an update. Here we go. Boys hockey up 3-1 over Tartan after 2 at the Hastings Civic Arena. So that's some good news too. I mean, the Raiders, started out a couple games were, good squads, teams that you used to see in the section. Jefferson's kind of improving now, and with Jefferson, that's a team too that has some Kennedy infusion now that they're kind of a co-op. So the Raiders, early on, the boys learning a little bit about their team, and I think that they're going to be propelled by the goaltending on the way up through the ice. I really think that both guys between the pipes, Smelser and also I'm thinking of the other one here, Stoffel too. I mean, both guys can really play the position. So you go from there up through the rest of the ice. I think they're going to be good the rest of the season.
Well, but Tuck, is it really good news? It's a 2-goal lead. We know that's the most dangerous in all of hockey.
It is. But if you have a very good team of back-checking forwards especially, and I'm not talking about your defensemen, back-checking forwards in a 3-1 game, let's just say 4-2 game, I'm going to roll the dice to my guys because you're going to get a lot of effort on both ends of the ice. That's going to be a jump ball. That's a good call by the official down along the end. Raiders will take it on the possession arrow with 4:36 to play. 51-40, your score. Raiders with the lead. Trailed 18-16 at halftime. Even the score at the end of this one's going to make it kind of look like, well, really, what happened in the first half? Because both teams have gotten things going. Nice pass down low and the cut to Matt Foss. Wide open, like a D-back falling down in football, and you have nothing but field in front of you, and that was the case right there.
He's just the one guy you can't leave open, certainly on a backdoor cut like that.
Such good hands, of course. Now we're going to get a foul on the cut. And that'll go against Hastings' Drew Gillespie, his third. That'll bring Lundstrom back up off the bench, ready to check in.
It's a little crazy how some of these players for Hastings are not more in foul trouble. It's been really kind of spread out here tonight, which I guess you don't want the fouls in the first place, but if you're going to get them, I suppose that's the way to do it.
No, you're exactly right. And I think that side of things with discipline is just something that Coach Feinkema throughout his career here at Hastings High School has implored his kids to make sure that they're able to do. You get into foul trouble, find a way to, stay on the floor, and they have done that as that shot goes. 53-42. Raiders lead by 11 with 4 minutes to play, even. Here in regulation, dare I say the game. Foss. Give and go up top. Gillespie gives it back to Henriksen, who cuts in behind him. And Brady will finish for the Raiders. He, too, has had a terrific second half of basketball offensively.
It's hard to say anybody's had a bad half of basketball here for Hastings.
Layup won't go for New Prague here on the other end. Hastings and Lundstrom the rebound, and Matty Foss will slowly bring it towards the timeline and through the logo. Raiders right to left, knocked away nicely by Meyer, who's been a fun player to watch tonight for the Trojans. They're going to have a nice little nucleus as we take a peek here again. Matt Foss, little give and go, finds on the backside Henriksen cutting. Man, that was just a great play again. Basketball acumen on display by this Raider team.
They'll give some of those teams in their section some trouble, that's for sure.
Inside for Gillespie, who was going to throw down a dunk, and he's rejected. Back up the floor, the layup won't go for New Prague as Miles Teets was going through the lane to the glass, just couldn't get it to go. Goes out off of a Raider, and New Prague will keep it with 3:06 to play here in tonight's ball game, with the Raiders up 55-42.
Certainly offensively, that nucleus, kind of like you're talking about with King, Meyer, Den Hartog, Teets.
Yeah.
There's a lot to like offensively for this team.
They're going to win more games than they have the last few years. I really think they will. They got enough that once they get it going a little bit in that tough conference, that they're still going to surprise some people. They might be one of those teams that, come up and surprise a couple teams that think they shouldn't beat them, as Matt Foss will put another one in, this time in the face of two New Prague players and one much bigger than him. And he'll get it to go, draw the foul, and try to complete that three. Man, again, through traffic. And Lee couldn't do anything but watch after fouling.
Just a second half performer. I mean, he was fairly quiet in that first half, like a lot of the Raiders players offensively, but he's just turned into a monster here in the second half.
Matt Foss will get his scoring statistics here as quickly as we can after this game. But he's up over 20, I can tell you that. Shots up here and good down low, and that's Meyer again. Like us here in Raider Nation have said a couple times, he's a good, he must say little player, he's 6'4". The guy's going to be one of the leaders of this Trojan team this year. Foss slowing it down, 18 on the shot clock. That's the clock the Raiders are watching more than anything right now, as a shot put up from 10, no good. Had a good look at it though. Rebound, New Prague, back up right side, shot, Gaffke goes. Isaiah Gaffke. He has 7 tonight for the Trojans. Foss outside Hendrickson. Raiders will try to eat some clock on the way in. 1:40 to go in the game. 18 seconds in the shot clock as it ticks down here with the Raiders at the top, and Foss back outside. Hendrickson gives it off to Gillespie, hands it off for Foss into the corner. Lundstrom will drive in, get bullied, pass outside. Foss for 3 is no good. Rebound, Raiders. Keep it alive. Hendrickson finds Foss up top, and the Raiders can milk a little more clock left. And they will, but a foul here, and let's play the foul game if that's what we're going to do. And that might be au revoir to the Trojans tonight.
And that was a crazy sequence there for Hastings, because on that rebound, I don't know if people saw that, it was almost punched in like Super Mario or something, going up underneath. It's just hustle and good techniques winning out here for Hastings.
Super Mario comparisons are always accepted on our broadcasts. Shot here is no good off the front rim. Man, I wouldn't think for 1 second after the Raiders only scored 16 in the first half that they'd have 59 right now. My goodness, but again, effort, hustle, dedication to your craft, and the Raiders have put a little bit of that and then some on the floor here through this final 18 minutes. What do we got going on here?
I mean, they'd be closing in on triple digits if they had this pace the entire game.
Oh, my goodness. You are not kidding either. Raiders up the floor with Bernatz. Again, you don't have to force anything. If anything, you can make New Prague foul you again, but I don't think they're forcing too much as Foss to the line here after getting one rejected on the way in. Foul there will be charged to Adam Lee. That's his 3rd. Matt Foss to the line again. Nobody on this Raider team has had the ball in his hands more than 14 here in the second half, and for rightful reasons.
I mean, I don't want to say he single-handedly willed Hastings into this game in the second half, because, Hendrickson gave you a lot, Lundstrom gave you a lot of rebounds and hustle as well, but man, he's really the vanguard of this Raiders team here.
It's pretty impressive tonight for Hastings. The shot will go in as Isaiah Gaffke gets another layup on the other end. He's put together a nice second half. All of his points coming in the second half. He's got 9 Foul on the way back up the floor, and that'll put Hendrickson to the line to shoot 2 of them. That falls on Isaiah Gafke. That's his 4th. 32 seconds left, 32.6 to be exact. Raiders lead 61-48. Looking to go to 1-0. Shots good by Hendrickson. He too, fantastic. Second half, had 5 in the first half.
And just a good game played by New Prague. At the end of the first half of their opening game against Owatonna, they were down by double digits. So that game wasn't particularly close throughout the game, but you could tell they made the adjustments coming into this one to have that really hot start here on the road. Obviously, they didn't maintain it, but like we've been saying, there is a lot to like about this Trojans team. I thought they played a lot better in game number 2.
31 in the game for Matt Foss. He will be our HCTV player of the game in tonight's Thursday night 62-48 victory over New Prague after trailing 18-16 at halftime. This blue and gold squad came to play in the second half. And boy, oh boy, this Raider team tonight comes away with that first victory of the season. Again, the final score, 62-48. Raiders will take on Red Wing next. That will be a lot of fun. I know that we will have, I think it's hockey and Simley. That's over, yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute too. But, man, Matthew Foss, 31 points, mailman. I mean, I didn't think maybe one team would score 31 all game, but boy, for him to do what he did, and to look at that too, 31, and so many of them coming in the second half, only had 9 at halftime. He just, like you said, willed the Raiders to win.
It just goes to show, no matter how much you're stuck in the slog there in the first half, I mean, you could turn it around. You got to credit Fikema, Coach Fikema, of course, for I'm sure he gave them plenty of instructions in the locker room, and I'm sure that helped as well.
I want to thank Hunter Pinky for doing anything, everything, and then some tonight. Also want to be sure to thank my camera operators. Each and every one of them are so awesome and vital to what we do here at HCTV. Ian Andrasak, Max Slocum, Tori Sellner, Avery Cheeseman, Big Cheese. So awesome to have Cheese here in Hastings too. And of course, Hunter doing graphics, replay, new scoreboard. I mean, is there anything else I can add? He's got 17 computers set up, 3 tablets. And by the way, in December, yes, a partridge in a pear tree. But I just like the way the Raiders started. They win tonight here at home. They go to 1-0, and we're all happy. That's it. Raiders win. We'll see everybody eventually here. Stay tuned to HCTV for more on our upcoming schedule. That's it for us. Raiders are 1-0. Good night, everybody.